Hello, everyone. That is my duty. It's my share to share with you the sin offering. Sin offering is the fourth one of the total of 5 offerings in Leviticus. And what I plan to do today is just to go over a brief summary with you regarding sin offerings. So let's dive in. Let me share screen first. Okay, all right, there you go. Okay. All right, sin offering. Now, before I go into sin offering, there are a number of things that we need to get ourselves familiar with. What I'm referring to is the overall tabernacle and its furnishing. The picture you see here is, I think, all of you can identify, and they are important when we come to the sin offering, because a lot of time those sacrifices has a lot to do with the tabernacle and its furnishing. A few items I'd like to bring it to your attention. Number one is the altar of incense. Altar of incense, it is inside the tent of meeting. Okay. And the other one is altar of sacrifice. Altar of sacrifice is in the courtyard. Okay. It is not inside the tent of meeting, it is outside within the courtyard. All right. And I think this is pretty much it. And maybe we can go to the next picture. Yeah. So this is the picture of the tabernacle. The one you see right now here is that the tents here. This is the tent of meeting. And then this is the washing basin. And this one here is the altar of sacrifice. All right. And the next one, again, this is the picture, the depiction inside the tent of meeting, in which, again, I want to bring your attention to the altar of incense right here. And also, here's the veil. This is the veil. Of course, in the real tabernacle, the veil is not broken. It's just, because of the artist want to show you what's inside of the Holy of Holies. That's why they cut this out. But this is the veil. It's a continuous veil. All right, separating the holiest of holies and the holy place. Okay, let's see. All right, so this slide I'm going to come back to this slide later. Let me go to another screen so that I can go over the sacrifices with you. Now, this is a spreadsheet. I use Excel to help understand the sin offering, because sin offering is not a single offering. It involves basically 4 types of people. And I break it down into who. Okay, so who need to make offering, sin offering. And so when you go across horizontally, we have an anointed priest. An anointed priest, even though it didn't specify in chapter 4. Oh, I'm sorry. I should mention to you that the sin offering, we can find that information in Leviticus chapter 4 and also chapter 6. Chapter 6 is like a supplement, to chapter 4. Okay. All right. So going back to who is going to make the sin offering, or who need to offer a sin offering. So there are 4 kinds of people. Number 1 is anointed priest. I believe an anointed priest should be someone like the high priest, right? The next category is the whole congregation. The whole congregation could have been sinned against the Lord, recalling the incident where when Moses were up in the mountain and the whole congregation had Aaron to do a golden calf for them. Right? So the whole congregation sinned. And then the next category is a leader. Okay, and then the last one is a commoner, any regular people. All right, so they're all, when they make an offering, a sin offering, each category of people would have a slightly different ritual or things that they need to perform. Okay, now on the left-hand column here, I put down circumstance, sacrifice. What kind of sacrifice? Well, circumstance, in regard to sin offering, there are all unintentional offenses, the things that they commit, the wrong that they committed without knowing it, but later on they find out. So these are all unintentional offenses. Okay, and then going down, next one is sacrifice. And then the next one, ritual. What I mean ritual is that, what are they supposed to do when they make the sin offering? There are certain things they need to do. And now in regard to the sacrifice, I break it down into number one, blood, and then the fat of the animal. And lastly, what about, the rest of the sacrifice? And lastly, what does that do to the person who make the offering? So I will, go over this 4 category of people with you. So number one, an anointed priest. When he sins unconditionally, he need to make offering of a bull, a large animal, a bullock or call. And what he needs to do is bring the bull to the doorway. Now the doorway, let me go back to let me see if I can show this one here. Yeah. So this is the door, this is the doorway, I believe. Now there is no specific location, no, like a pinpoint thing, but this is the entrance. Okay, and here is the order. So I would imagine somewhere around here. Okay. I can only use my imagination. So probably they will, make the sacrifice or to slay the animal there. So let me go back to the spreadsheet. Yeah. Okay. So what he needs to do, going back to the ritual, is bring the bull to the doorway and then lay his hand on the head of the bull and then slay the bull before the Lord. And then there are a specific instruction about the blood. What are they supposed to do with the blood? They are supposed to bring some blood and go inside the tent of meeting and sprinkle, dip his fingers into the blood and sprinkle the blood onto the veil. Remember the veil I showed you earlier. Sprinkle the blood 7 times on the veils. And then put some blood on the horns of the altar of incense. Okay, so 2 things. Again, sprinkle the blood 7 times to the veil, and then put some blood around the horns of the altar. Okay. Now after that, he is gonna, he just took some blood, went inside, right? But for the rest of the blood, you're gonna put all the blood at the base of the altar of the burnt offering, so which is the altar of the sacrifice. So they're going to put all the blood at the base of the altar. There is specific instruction about fat. Okay, the priest was to remove all the fat. And then in addition to the fat, My understanding is that they need to take out 2 kidneys and the liver, along with the fat, and then burn it on the altar of sacrifice. Okay. Now, how about the rest of the sacrifice? Basically, the hile and the body, they are supposed to bring the body, the bowl, and its hide to a clean place outside of the camp and burn it with wood. Okay, so this is the instruction of the Lord as to the high priest when they committed an intentional sin. They make a sin offering. This is what they're supposed to do. Now, for the rest of them are fairly similar. And for the whole congregation, same thing. All the rest are the same, except it is for the elders. So the elders here are supposed to lay their hands on the animal. Okay, so of course, for the killing of the animal, the priest would take care of that, but it was the elders who put their hands on the bowl. Okay, again, the rest of the other things are the same. Okay, yeah. So, and the result, so the priest shall make atonement for them, and they will be forgiven. Now, I didn't put down here on the anointed priest column because it doesn't say in the Bible, so I couldn't find any inference to that, and so I didn't put it down. But I would imagine similar thing will happen. What I mean is the high priest will be forgiven of their sin. Okay. Now, we're going to go to the third column: a leader and a commoner. Again, the offense is committed unintentionally. Now, but the offering or the sacrifice is not the same with the high priest or the congregation. Now, this time is a male goat without defects. Let me also use it to contrast with a commoner. A commoner, when they make offering, they need to offer a female goat instead of a male goat. Okay. Now, either case, the sacrifice need to be without any defects. For a commoner, in addition to the female goat, he may choose to offer a female lamb. So, but either a goat or a lamb, the ritual, the things that they need to do are the same. All right. So let me go back to the third column, which is a leader. Bring the sacrifice to the doorway of the tent of meeting, and then he shall lay his hand on the head of the male goat. Now, for the commoner, he will lay his hand on the head of the sin offering that refers to the female goat or the female lamb, right? And then slay the sacrifice. Now, pay attention here. I didn't put down anything here, okay? Because for the leader and the commoner sin offering, they do not need to bring the blood, go inside to the tent of meeting, okay? Only the high priest and the whole congregation, they need to bring the blood, some blood, and go inside and sprinkle on the veil, right? And then put it on the horns of the altar of incense. But for the leader and the commoner sin offering, they don't need to do that. What they need to do is to take some blood of the sin offering and just put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering or the altar of the sacrifice. Okay, which is the one that is, let me show you just in case. Which is the one in the courtyard. This one here, you see the 4 horns there on the altar, right? So they're supposed to put some blood and then put it on the horns of the altar. What about the rest of the blood? The rest of the blood, just pour it on the base of the altar, all right? Same thing. Okay, now something interesting too. Now, for the treatment on the fats, it's the same thing. Same thing. They're supposed to burn, take the fats along with the kidneys and the what you might call it, the liver. Okay, and then burn it to the Lord. Okay. Now something different here though. For the rest of the sacrifice, the priest and within their family, the priests who offer the sacrifice and the priest's family members, the males, they can eat the sacrifice. Okay, so let me just read it to you, and then I need to wrap up. I know I went over 10 minutes. And the priests who offer it for sin shall eat it. It shall be eaten in a holy place in the court of the tent of meeting. Okay. Thus the result is, thus the priest shall make atonement for him, referring to the leader in regard to his sin, and he will be forgiven. Yeah, so now the information about the priest can eat the sacrifice for the sin offering for the leader and the commoner can be found in chapter 6. They're not in chapter 4. All right. Just a few points, want to bring it to you for your attention here is this, and which is, I hope I record this. Let me let me do it one more time, just in case. I don't want to redo this. Now, just one question that I had for myself while I was preparing this. Question number one is why some of the sacrifices from the sin offering can be eaten by the priest and some can't. Okay, so we can find the reference here in chapter 6, verse 30. But no sin offering of which any of the blood is brought into the tent of meeting to make atonement in the holy place shall be eaten. It shall be burned with fire. Why is that? Why is that there? Remember the sin offering for the high priest and also for the congregation, they need to bring the blood inside the tent of meeting. And those sacrifices they cannot eat. The sacrifice they will find a clean place and burn the whole sacrifice. Why is that? When the sin offering for a leader and a commoner, the priest and his family members, male, can eat the sacrifice. I don't have that answer, but I find that very interesting. Second thing that I want to bring it to you while preparing for this sin offering, I also come across the Bible Project's Leviticus division. It has a very interesting division, so I want to encourage you to check it out. The video itself is not very